Welcome to Football with Cheese. It's finally here, Super Bowl Sunday. I know there's a lot going on in the NFL with the news that Aaron Rodgers will not be back with the Jets. Deebo Samuel likely to be traded. I'll deal with those in a separate video. So make sure you are subscribed and enable alerts so you never miss a video. Well, we need to preview the Super Bowl. I actually have probably notes that can make this a 25-minute video. There is so much to go over, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to focus on a few key things that I think are important. Some key matchups, some things that maybe others haven't thought of. Let's start with the Chiefs. They've been to 6 Super Bowls, won 4 of them, lost the first Super Bowl to the Packers in the 60s. They have won 2 straight. They've been to 4 of the last 5. If they do win, they'll be the first team to ever win 3 straight Super Bowls. Not 3 straight titles. The Packers did that in the 60s. But they didn't call it the Super Bowl till the late 60s, I believe. Eagles, been to 4 Super Bowls. Lost 2 years ago to the Chiefs, 38-35. They won in 2018 over the Patriots. Okay. When the Chiefs have the ball, they obviously have Patrick Mahomes, who is an incredible player. He's so mobile. He's the quarterback that you can pressure him all day long. He's going to run away from it. He's still going to make plays. He's so good when pressured. And that's when you see some quarterbacks really fail. Jared Goff failed miserably in the playoffs at that. But he can run around, create plays with his legs, either scramble or give himself more time. The way you beat him is you have to get him on the ground and you have to force him to make mistakes. In the 2022 AFC title game, the Bengals beat the Chiefs. They showed you how you play Patrick Mahomes. They got 4 sacks. They kept him in the pocket. They forced 2 interceptions. They constantly got pressure. And that's what you have to do. You have to get pressure on him and you have to keep him in the pocket. And when you do that, the chances of him making a mistake go up. Right now, teams all season have been letting him get outside the pocket, letting him scramble on key third downs, leaving Travis Kelce wide open in the middle of the field. And you can't do that. You can't do any of those things. If you let him do all that, the Eagles will not win. So Travis Kelce's another one. He's not the player he used to be. He's still a very good player. He's not the elite player he used to be. So his main route is to run 3 to 5 yards down the field, turn around, quick pass from Mahomes. And you cannot let him just do that all the way down the field. And teams have been letting him. The Bills didn't. Still lost. And you want to force the Chiefs to go down the field with their speed receivers, Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown. That's what I want to do. If it works, it works. Maybe they hit some big plays, long touchdowns, but at least you don't let them dink and dunk all the way down the field, take a 6-7 minute drive, and still score. So Zach Bond, the linebacker for the Eagles, very good player, forces a lot of fumbles, great in coverage. I want to see him man-to-man on Kelce and get in front of him. Make Kelce beat you over the top because he doesn't have the speed he used to. So that's a key matchup. Nakobe Dean, the other Eagles linebacker, is out for the season. Oren Burks has filled in. He's been okay, but he's not Nakobe Dean. It hasn't hurt them yet. We'll see if it does. On defense, the Eagles were only in the middle of a pack in sacks. They were a very good defense. They were in the top 5 or 6 in just about every category except sacks. They've got to get some sacks. Keep Mahomes in the pocket. Get him on the ground. Don't let him run around for 5, 6, 7 seconds. I actually had a breakdown of all 5 offensive linemen on both teams. Not going to do that. That will take forever because I'm obsessed with offensive line. You'll see it when we do draft videos. But Joe Thuney is the left tackle of the Chiefs. He's normally left guard, playing left tackle. And it's forced Mike Caliendo to come in and play left guard. That's not a strength on that side. The Bills did not take advantage of that. So you have a left guard playing left tackle who's been solid. He hasn't been great, but he's been solid. And you have a weakness at left guard. So the Eagles have to take advantage of that. They've got to get Jalen Carter one-on-one on Mike Caliendo. They've got to scheme it that way, or at least try. And the Chiefs got to double-team Jalen Carter. We've seen what happens. You've seen what happens in the Packer game, in the Rams game, and Washington game. When you do not double-team Jalen Carter, he's going to win on passing sets. When you do, he doesn't get any pressure. He can't get off double teams. But one-on-one, he's going to destroy you. And if he's on Mike Caliendo, he's going to get a lot of pressure in Mahomes' face. Nolan Smith, edge rusher for the Eagles, been kind of inconsistent in the postseason, but he's their best edge rusher. He's got to get Mahomes on the ground. Jalen Hurts, the other quarterback. Let's back up a second. The Eagles have a better roster than the Chiefs. If you take away the quarterback, the 52-man roster, besides the quarterback, the Eagles are way better on paper. But the Chiefs have a better quarterback. Now, Jalen Hurts did not really play well as far as passing against the Rams and the Packers, but he played outstanding against Washington, his best game of the year. He had a long scramble against the Rams. That's his strength. He can scramble for yards. He could run for 100 yards if he really wanted to in any game. But he was terrific in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs 2 years ago. It was not his fault they lost. They lost because they couldn't get stops. Their defense wasn't as good. Their defense is much better this year. They drafted 2 rookie corners. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean have really solidified that secondary. If Hurts plays like he did 2 years ago in the Super Bowl, the Eagles are going to win this game because there's so much talent around him. A.J. Brown, one of the best 10 receivers in the league. Devontae Smith, one of the best number 2 receivers in the league. Dallas Goedert's above average tight end. The offensive line's incredible. Didn't even mention Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, one of the best running backs in the NFL, was Offensive Player of the Year. The reason the Eagles are here, and they weren't here last year, is not necessarily Saquon, it's the defense. Their offense did fall apart last year. Completely collapsed, the Eagles did, but their defense was so much better this year, and that is why they're here. They held the Packers to 10 points. They forced 3 turnovers against Washington. They've been forcing turnovers like crazy the second half of the year. That is why the Eagles are here. Yes, their offense is very good, but it really revolves around Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts must have a good game. Because even with Saquon, there was a lot of games they scored points in the 20s because Jalen Hurts didn't play that great. So even if your running back's amazing, your quarterback still has to play well. A couple more things. Chiefs on defense, Chris Jones is amazing. One of the best pass rushing defensive tackles in the game. Double team him. Don't let him beat you. Trent McDuffie's a terrific corner. I hope he's on A.J. Brown one-on-one most of the game. That'll be fun to watch. The other corner for the Chiefs is Jalen Watson. If he's on Devontae Smith, I think that's advantage Eagles. He's a solid corner, but I think Smith could beat him. I think Smith's going to have a very good game. I think the Eagles' game plan will revolve around him because they're going to put a lot of attention on A.J. Brown. Leo Chenal and Nick Bolton, the off-ball linebackers for the Chiefs, underrated group. Very good group. No one really talks about them. And George Karlaftis really came on this year, the pass rusher for the Chiefs. We'll see if he has a big game. He had a 3-set game earlier in the playoffs. But let's talk about coaching. Steve Spagnuolo is an outstanding defensive coordinator. He fits so well with Andy Reid, the Chiefs head coach. What Spagnuolo did against the Bills, if you rewatch that game, he did not blitz much until the last 8 minutes of the game, which is unusual because the Chiefs are a heavy blitz team. He waited till the game got close, to their big plays, big 3rd and 4th downs. Then he started sending all-out blitzes. He started blitzing Josh Allen like crazy. And that was brilliant because the offensive line of the Bills hadn't had to adjust to any blitz, corner blitzes, linebacker blitzes, safety blitzes. They didn't have to adjust to him all game, and all of a sudden he was throwing everything at the Bills. And RG3 kind of called out Josh Allen, saying he should have done better at pre-snap reads. He should have changed the protection, especially on that last 4th down where 2 guys came free. It's possible that Allen could have done better, but Steve Spagnuolo designs these blitzes that are just so hard to block. And the head coach of the Chiefs, Andy Reid. If you watch the Super Bowl from 2 years ago, the Eagles were up 10, and he made adjustments. And Andy Reid's offensive game plan in the second half was brilliant. And the Chiefs ended up winning by 3 on a last-second field goal. And then Nick Sirianni, the head coach of the Eagles, I feel bad for him. It's tough to be a coach of a Philadelphia team. He gets all the blame when they lose. When they collapsed last year, they wanted him fired. Good thing they didn't. But he has much better coordinators this year. Vic Fangio is a very good defensive coordinator, and he's got a lot of players that fit his scheme. It didn't work out in Miami last year because he didn't have the players that fit his scheme, but he does with this Eagles team. So both teams have outstanding defensive coordinators. But Nick Sirianni, if the Eagles lose, they're going to want him fired, the Eagles fans, and that's just such a shame. But he's done a good job. So a couple little things. The Eagles force a ton of turnovers. The Chiefs hardly ever give the ball up. So that'll be important. If the Eagles can force a few turnovers, fumbles, or interceptions, they're going to win this game. Forced 3 fumbles against Washington in the NFC Championship game and then ran away with it. The kickers. The Chiefs have the better kicker. Jake Elliott was a terrific kicker for the Eagles until this year, and he's been wildly inconsistent. Missed some kicks in the postseason, so that could be a factor. Just ask Bills fans. Scott Norwood, wide right, cost them a Super Bowl against the Giants in 1990. And last but not least, the officiating. So the officiating has been bad. The Chiefs have gotten a lot of breaks these last 2 games. I don't think the Chiefs are going to get all these breaks. It's the Super Bowl. Everyone's watching. It would be really bad for the NFL if we saw officiating like the Texans game, like the Bills game, where the Chiefs clearly got more calls. The Super Bowl last year, I thought it was fair. I think it was badly officiated, but I think the Niners and Chiefs both benefited or were hurt by the officiating. I don't think one team had an advantage. I just don't want the officials to dictate this game. I just want it fair. Whoever wins, wins. Chiefs by 1.5. So I somehow think the Chiefs are going to win. They always seem to. But I'm taking the Eagles plus 1.5 because the Eagles are better on paper. This is stupid. I'm probably wrong, but I'm taking the Eagles. I just think if Jalen Hurts plays well and they force some turnovers, they will definitely win. They could win comfortably if that happens. I know the Chiefs are clutch. I know they play well in the fourth quarter. I know they came back on the Eagles 2 years ago. They're very good at that. I just think the Eagles' defense is so much better. And they can get stops on Mahomes in the second half. And so I'm taking the Eagles to win. I hope they do. I'm so tired of the Chiefs winning. Let me know what you think. Who do you think will win? You can give me a score prediction. So make sure you are subscribed. Like this video. Turn the notification bell. Share this video out there. We're trying to grow the channel. There'll be a Cam Ward prospect breakdown. And we'll have to talk about Deebo Samuel, Aaron Rodgers, and Kellen Moore probably going to get the Saints job. We'll talk about that as well. So Super Bowl Sunday. Don't drink too much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.